Hi everyone, welcome back to Redstone Real, where we talk about the latest and greatest in the movie business. I'm your host, Joe Acierno.
And I'm your host, Nicole Agosto. Today we're going to be talking about our top threes of 2017, our Oscar picks, and our most anticipated films of 2018. This is Redstone Real.
Okay, so today is a special episode, it's the finale of the season, so it's just going to be, us two hosts. Us regulars, us average shows. But so...
Anyway,
so we're going to start things off by picking our top three films of 2017 and just saying why they're just so awesome.
All right.
So, you want to lead us off, or you want?
Okay. So far, my top three has to be...
I want to say your number three, and then...
All right, so my number three for now definitely has to be Mother. Because that was a trip. It's really, I love movies, but it's really usually pretty hard for me to feel so much emotion. I felt a lot of emotion that night, a lot of panic, a lot of tension, but I loved it in like a really sick way. And it's when you figure out the double meanings behind it all, you're sitting there and you're like, I get this guy. It's a really good Darren Aronofsky film, and of course Javier Bardem is awesome. Jennifer Lawrence is amazing, and it just gets better and better, but it's quite a roller coaster that you don't really see the end coming. What about your number three?
My number three has to be Blade Runner 2049, and this is from the same director as Sicario and Arrival. I mean, everyone knows how much I love that movie, so you know it's going to be a halfway decent movie to say the least. And the movie is just, I think, gorgeous is the best.
Yes.
It's the best one-word term to describe this movie. It's nearly, I think it's 2 hours and 44 minutes long, nearly 3 hours long, and I didn't look at my phone to check the time once. It's an incredibly well done film. It's visually stunning, and even then it still has more to offer than just that. The music's great. Hans Zimmer works on the music as well, and the performances are all very strong, especially Ryan Gosling. I think given...
Really? Okay,
yeah,
well, people were really torn about that.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty straight, split down the middle. So...
But, I mean, even just the plot twist, I remember sitting in the theater and my friend, attempted to guess the ending of the movie, and I'm like, oh, okay, that actually sounds pretty reasonable, and then he ended up being wrong, and he's just like, I'm never gonna guess the ending of a movie again. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, so number three is, all right, so I guess for my number two, definitely, you might not be surprised, it's gonna be Dunkirk. Definitely, we're going on the whole lots of emotions being felt while in your seat kind of trip when it comes to my movies. But for this film, it's about the Battle of Dunkirk and how the English were able to rescue various English and French soldiers during World War II. Yes, I almost said that. But yeah, it's quite riveting, and even for a very short time, Harry Styles shows that he definitely has the talent to be an exceptional actor, and you get some really great people in it. You get Kenneth Branagh, and you get Mark Rylance. Yeah, he was awesome in this, and by far one of my favorites. And Christopher Nolan, the director, he definitely employs the best use of sound to give it a sense of tension, which is why it's probably going to be one of my top three for 2017 and probably forever. But how about you?
Honestly, sorry to bore everyone, but my number two is Dunkirk as well. And I love Christopher Nolan as a director. I think he's easily one of the best directors working today. And he always is able, no matter how unrealistic, obviously it was based on a true story, but even no matter how unrealistic an idea or a story may be, he always has a way of making it realistic, and this being based on a true story is no exception. And it's a very immersive film. You feel like you're there, from the sound to the cinematography to just everything. And what I loved about this is usually when there aren't a lot of layered characters, I would have a problem, but this is different because I remember, I'm quoting an IGN review for this, but one of the points that they made was that these aren't grand characters constantly telling stories of back home. These are terrified young men, and you're just there for this. You're there for the ride. You're there for the experience, like they are. So even then, performances, direction, and even the screenplay, very little dialogue, but I still feel like it was a very unique screenplay. Like, I didn't have a problem with there not being as much dialogue.
Yeah.
So that's my number 2 pick.
Yeah. For me, number 1, it's definitely going to have to be Get Out. Get Out was quite the roller coaster, Jordan Peele, and a lot of people are always really surprised that Jordan Peele made it essentially a horror film. But
so was I.
but if you watch a lot of the stuff that Key and Peele do, it's a little scary sometimes. And I don't know if you know this, he also directed and wrote an episode of Black Mirror.
Really?
Yeah.
That I did not know.
And when you watch it and then you watch Get Out, you can see a lot of where he gets his ideas from and whatnot. Get Out was one of the most low-key horrifying movies ever because it kind of planted like a seed of like, this could happen, but, it's not, right? Right? But I have to admit, though, the ending, the entire theater gasped. I gasped. A bunch of, I know there were, 2 people in the audience that were, clapping, and everyone was like, what is wrong with you? But other than that, Get Out is definitely the best piece of social horror that I've seen in 2017. And that's definitely my top 1. How about you?
All right, my number 1 film for 2017, we actually reviewed this on the show. My number 1 would have to be 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. And I'm going to try my very best not to repeat myself, but again, darkly hilarious. The drama is just searing. It just cuts right through to your heart.
Yeah.
And it's, oh my god, it's just hysterical throughout. Even if, I don't know if I want to say in the worst way possible, because I feel like everyone's senses of humor are a little different, and I feel like I definitely fall into that category.
But for such a serious topic.
Yes, it manages to be hilarious. And again, all the performances in this movie are absolutely fantastic. Martin McDonagh, I think, once again, this is going to be his movie. I don't know how he's going to be able to beat this one. The script is razor sharp. And there's just so much behind it, from the dialogue to the characters to the plot twist that you really didn't see coming. And I'm sorry, I'm going to keep babbling on and on about this movie. Cinematography is great too. But yeah, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, my number 1 pick for 2017.
All right,
amazing.
So those were our top 3. And up next, we're going to be talking about our Oscar picks. So if you, Joe Acierno, were the only person running the Oscars, what this year would you be picking?
For what exactly do you mean? For
Best Picture.
Best Picture? Okay. 3 Billboards, obviously,
Yeah.
Dunkirk. I can make some, a lot of this is still speculation at this point. I'm seeing the Disaster Artist in the Shape of Water in a couple days, and you're going with me on that one. But yeah, 3 Billboards for sure. Dunkirk's definitely going to be in the mix. I feel like Get Out has a pretty strong chance.
Cinematography in that is phenomenal, so I could totally see that being also.
There's that, and you look at all these award circles that are starting to release their picks, and you could kind of again speculate. Shape of Water, I'm confident is going to be in the mix. There's Call Me by Your Name, which how we feel about that one. But apparently, I've talked to a couple people that saw it.
Yeah, they said it was pretty good.
It was very I heard it was very good. And what else is there? There's it's funny I say that. Oh, there's so many, but I can't name any of them right now.
Can't think of any of the top.
I can't think of any right now.
For me, it's definitely going to be, for now, Dunkirk.
Yes.
The Florida Project.
Yes. All right, that's another one.
The Florida Project, which is a A24 film. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but A24 seems to be coming out with some phenomenal films. The Disaster Artist coming up, which we're both pretty excited about. I have a feeling The Disaster Artist is going to be really high up there.
I think it's starting to create some buzz now, but then as the award season progresses, it's gonna make more of a name for itself.
Another one that I'm thinking of is, do you think Wonder Woman could be a contender for
Best Picture? No, I do not.
No? Okay.
I don't think so.
Because I know that there was some talk, and people were like, if it does, it's gonna be a really big deal because of the fact that it's a superhero film.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that,
I don't see it because there are definitely some flaws to it. I think in terms of special effects and stuff like that could bring it down a bit.
Okay, yeah.
I remember the last shot it looks kind of cheesy to me, it looked kind of fake, and I'm like, I could also see Lady Bird getting in there. Lady Bird is definitely a strong contender.
Wow, I forgot about that movie.
There's Lady Bird, and I think The Big Sick has a very good chance of getting
The Big Sick, definitely.
Very well written movie. Performances are all terrific. Holly Hunter, Kamal Nanjiani, and honestly, I'm a little biased here because I love Everybody Loves Raymond, but Ray Romano is fantastic in this movie too. I hope
Yes.
I hope he gets into the supporting actor.
Best supporting actor, definitely.
I think he was terrific.
Do you think the Meyerowitz Stories has a chance at some of the awards?
Right now, it doesn't have as much of a shot as I once thought it did, but I think once again, that's one of those things, like, as we progress further in the award season, like, we'll just have to see. Last thing that we do on this season for Red Storm Reel is we talk about the movies that we're really pumped for. We talk about the movies that we're really pumped for in 2018. So I'm going to start this off by saying I feel like this is kind of a cop-out, but I'm excited for this one because it seems to be taking this whole franchise in a new direction. I'm going to have to go with Avengers Infinity War. This looks, our director or camera guy, whatever he is, he's kind of.
To counter you, Black Panther.
Black Panther.
That is going to be the best film ever. I'm calling it right now. Like I've already just from the trailers alone seen a lot of similar cinematography choices like they did in Civil War. I'm already really excited about that. We got a really strong cast going, and we're gonna see a really good turnout.
Now here's the thing, I want that to be good, and given the pedigree that's behind this movie, you have Michael B. Jordan, and you have Chadwick Boseman, and honestly, I love Chadwick Boseman and his character in Civil War, so I'm confident in that. You have Ryan Coogler directing, same director as Creed, which I think is another great movie. But here's the thing, like I was watching the trailers and I wasn't as blown away by everybody else. So I'm just hoping that it's just a bad trailer. Based on pedigree alone, I'm confident in the movie.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident in it. I already know that because of the fact that like people are really excited about the fact that this is like our first like black superhero since Blade.
Okay.
Yeah, that it's going to be like a really, really big deal for a lot of people. But so other than, but yeah, I don't know. How do you think if Avengers is going to turn out?
I'm confident in Avengers. I think, and again, they finally released a trailer because they kept saying they were going to do it, but they finally did it a few days ago. And I'm confident in this one. It seems to be taking the franchise in a much more serious direction. Like, okay,
people are finally going to die.
I honestly, like, some of them have to go. Like, some of them really have to go, and which is probably going to happen because a few contracts are going to be expired. So, but again, like, this has to be serious. I think it's going to be serious. Like, obviously, like, every movie has like a bit of humor in it and whatnot. Like, there's got to be humor, but it can't be one of the other Marvel movies where it just goes for the joke way too much.
I'm calling it right now. Rocket might die.
Raccoon. The raccoon.
Rocket Raccoon might die.
Honestly, like, I know some of them have to die, but I'm not sure which.
If I'm right, I am so sorry. But for my pick, another pick I have for 2018, since it seems to be the theme of superheroes for next year, the New Mutants, which is kind of it's based off of a spin-off comic of the X-Men that Marvel did back in the 70s, and it was a big success. And another thing that they also did was they spun it to almost be like a horror film, and that's why I saw it and I was immediately intrigued because having superpowers isn't all cream and daisies like they like to illustrate.
Cream and daisies, wow. I don't think I've
pleasant things.
I don't think I've ever heard that one. Cream and daisies, that's great. What are you doing? I'm just relaxing here with my cream and daisies. But
okay.
It's funny. I feel kind of dumb picking another superhero movie, which it doesn't strike me as a superhero movie like at first glance, but The Incredibles 2
my God, yes.
finally coming out. And it's aggravating because it took them 10 years just to announce that they were doing another one after the first Incredibles came out. And you have Cars, the weakest Pixar movie to that point, getting not one but two sequels, whereas The Incredibles, is finally getting one sequel.
The only bone I have to pick with The Incredibles 2 trailer that we've seen so far is that they haven't grown up. Like, Jack's still a baby.
Yeah.
Like,
I think
could have done so much with this.
I think they're going to pick it off from where it last left off in the first movie with the Underminer or whatnot. So I want to see them do something with that, even if it means like, okay, we did this with the Underminer, then they flash forward a few years to like when they all grow up.
I didn't think of that. Okay.
And also Brad Bird, who did the first Incredibles movie, is returning for this one, and he's doing the same positions. So I'm confident in this one. So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess for now, that is Red Storm Reel. It has been quite the privilege to be able to talk about movies with you guys, and we thank you so much for watching. Signing you guys off, I'm your host, Nicole Agosto.
I'm Joe Acierno, and before we sign off for the end of the season, I'd like to thank my friend and co-host Nicole for, always being such a great, co-host and even friend above that. So, thank you, Nicole.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
And thank you for being an amazing person.
Oh, shucks, shucks, man. I'd also like to thank WRED-TV President Ashley Prasad, our Vice President Jordan Darmento, and our Variety Director Anthony Ferrara for giving us this opportunity to do this. And I'd like to thank all the people who were guests on here: Amanda Franco, Eric Ferrari, Gabe Pabone. And I think that was all of them, right?
Yeah, that was it.
We didn't really shake it up this semester, but that's fine. That's okay.
We'll
That's
be
okay.
fearless in the fall.
But yeah, until then, I'm Joe Acierno.
And I'm your host, Nicole Agosto. So this has been
Red Storm Reel.